Hey, good morning. Just wanted to try and really quickly cover just a few topics. And I know first thing you're probably going to think is, hey, this is the same guy that's always talking about insurance, and he's just some salesman just trying to sell you something. Um, doesn't have my best interest at heart, doesn't know me and my family, doesn't understand what we need. And in some of those cases, you may actually be right. We don't know you yet. We would love to get to know you and find out what your family does need, and to be able to just put some options on the table for you, just to take a look at that. Obviously, well, I've talked about it a lot. You'll see it on my social media a lot, and inflation is happening. We're in it, and everything is costing more across the board, from your gas and your groceries through car repairs, through home repairs. God forbid you're out there trying to purchase a new car. Even used cars nowadays, my goodness, have just gone through the roof. I remember my very first vehicle was a 1999 Hyundai Sonata, and I paid $2,000 for that car. And granted, it wasn't anything luxurious, but it was a $2,000 car with under 100,000 miles that ran, and it did what I needed it to as a 16-year-old going to school and to work. But nowadays you can't find a $2,000 car with under 100,000 miles on it that's not going to have some issues. So everything has gone up, right? And we're all feeling the pain of that. So I just wanted to touch on this and kind of morph this back into what's going on with your insurance, with my insurance, and just what's happening in the industry, so you can maybe at least get an idea. And the fact is, with all of these rising prices and shortage of parts, the cost of just repairing a vehicle these days has gone up. Anywhere from 10 to upwards of 30-40% based on what the make and model is of the vehicle and the technology that all these vehicles have in it now that they didn't back in 1999. So the cost to repair a vehicle has increased. The cost to purchase a new vehicle, or in the case of the insurance company, to replace a vehicle in the event of a total loss. God forbid you're in an accident and a vehicle has to be replaced, has gone up. For the first time ever in the automobile industry, vehicles are appreciating assets and not depreciating like they've always been historically forever. You drive off the lot, and my 18-year-old stupid self, right after I joined the Marine Corps, bought a brand new Ford F-150 for $30,000, drove it off the lot, and it was worth $26,000. So, just historically, vehicles have always been depreciating assets, and that's just how they are. And we are seeing a very weird and opposite side of that right now. So, in the event that you are in an accident and that vehicle needs to be repaired or needs to be replaced, insurance companies are paying more now to make sure you get what you need or that you are taken care of. And in turn, they are having to charge more in premium. So it's that fine balance of making sure you have the right coverage in place for you, for your specific situation, because insurance is a very specific type of product that obviously you're required to have in most instances, but it is something specific to you and your family. And we need to take a look at, or you and your current agent, if you've never gone over your policy and never discussed what your liability limits are, what these different coverages actually do for you. Do you need all the coverages you have? Do you need some additional coverages that you don't currently have? And that's just something that we do here. Is just try to take the time to really get to know you, figure out what's best for you, and just provide options. What's the absolute worst thing that can happen is we put together some options for you. We look through all of our carriers, and then we're not able to help you. Apples to apples, whatever you want to look at, with your needs and your specific situation, we're just not able to get the best possible rate for you. No harm, no foul. You've just gotten the free quote. You've had some additional options put on the table, and you know that your current policy is the best one for you at this moment. And that's not something we're ever going to try to take you away from. But on the flip side of that, what happens if we are able to look at some different options, get you some better coverages, greater liability limits, more endorsements on those policies to cover more things, and it's cheaper? So that's why I really wanted to come out here today right now and just do this, because let's look at this from a worst case scenario. In the insurance industry, I have to look at the worst case scenario potential every day. Expect the worst, hope for the best. So all we want to do for you is put together some options, and you can expect the worst. You can say, this guy is never going to be able to touch my rate. I've been with XYZ company for the last 20 years. There's no way. Okay, that's fine. But at least you will know at the end of the day that you've gotten some additional options, and you can confirm you do have the very best policy for you and your needs. Or you're going to say, holy cow, I've been with this company the last 15 or 20 years, and who knows how much I could have been saving and getting better coverages, because we are not the agency you're going to come to if you want to cut your coverages and have bare bones minimum coverage, because that's not something we do here. We care too much about each and every single one of our clients to ever write you some terrible policy that's not going to do anything for you when you need it. Everybody, including myself, I'm an agent, I write insurance, and I'm feeling the effects. My renewal has gone up at each of my renewals, and I'm not immune to any of the changes you guys are having as well. The only difference is I know what I'm looking at, and I've got some options that I can look through for both myself and for you. So the big thing here is just really making sure you know what's out there, because you just don't know what you don't know. You're not a licensed agent. You haven't had to go through that licensing process, go through continuing education to keep your license. There's a lot of things out here that you just don't know, and that's fine. You're not expected to. But that's why you need a good agent who knows what they're talking about, knows what these different policies have, and be able to really show you those different options. So I tell everybody, just in a quick closing, I knew 3 things about insurance before I got into this industry, and that was how much my monthly payment was, when that monthly payment was due, and what my deductibles were on my policy in case I needed to use it, right? So those were the 3 big things, and that's all that I knew. And after being in the industry for a good couple of days now, I've learned there's so much more to these policies, and why everybody gets so frustrated with insurance when they feel like they file a claim that one time in 10 or 20 years that they actually need to file a claim, and then they're having to fight with their insurance company to get taken care of and get that claim paid out the way that they feel like it should be. And that's just because the agent you have didn't care up front. And it sounds horrible, but all they cared about was getting that policy written to get some commission, to hit a quota, whatever the case may have been. And they didn't take the approach that you, the client, needs to be taken care of. So if they weren't going to be the best fit for you, they should have told you that up front, and they should have let you continue shopping your options. And that's something we'll do here all day, every day. We're not the highest producing agency here in the state of Georgia, not even close. But the clients that we have will stay with us forever because of what we do for them and the service we provide, and making sure up front each policy that we write for that worst case scenario. So God forbid something does happen to you or a family member, you can make one call and that claim is going to go through, you're going to get taken care of, and everything's going to get paid out the way that you need it to. So that's what we do here, and that's my challenge to you today, is just to ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen by me getting some new options? And really see if that's something that would hold you back, just from at least seeing what's out there. We'd love to help you out. I just hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe out there, and just feel free, give us a call, shoot us an email, look us up on our website, socials, anything. We're fairly easy to find. www.sturneragency.com or 678-719-0678.